Kevin Mayo, and we're going to drink some beer. Today we're doing PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Been around since 1844. At one time it was one of the most popular beers in the country, almost went out of business. They really rebuilt their brand by, everybody calls it a hipster beer, but they made it so that young people were drinking it. It was cool. I can remember a couple of years ago I was at the local chain restaurant in town, and they ran over and were all excited because they had PBR on tap. Now, I've been drinking this stuff for 40 years. I don't drink it all the time, but you know, I probably had the first one in the mid-'70s, early '70s, the first time I had one of these. It's a traditional American adjunct lager, so we got a chance to get our Pilsner glass out. We're going to go ahead and give this a crack. Twist off. King of Clubs. Ooh, you can smell it already. It smells like beer. When I was growing up, this is all you could drink, and I've said that a number of times. You got American adjunct lager, and that was it. You got Budweiser, Miller, PBR, local guys, Narragansett, Schaefer, Peels. But everybody had the same style, and they still brew like a gazillion barrels of lager every year. It's the most popular style in the world. It's not as complex as all us beer geeks like, but there's definitely something drinkable about it. Very typical American lager, highly carbonated, probably CO2 forced carbonation, bright white head, and just a straw yellow color to it. Just as clear, you can see right through it, you can read a newspaper through it. And I mean, they come out and say on their website they have corn syrup in it, and you could smell that. You could smell the corn. Smell a little bit of bready malt. A little bit of a resin. The hop. I'm just getting a thing of the hop. All in all, very typical American adjunct lager on the aroma. I'm trying to remember what color the Budweiser is. I think this might be just a shade lighter than the Budweiser we did the other day. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Yeah, pretty typical. I'm not going to jump up, down, and sing praises to it. But I reviewed this on my old website and panned it badly. This bottle is much better than I remember it. You get a little bit of malt at the beginning of it, a little bit of cracker, saltine, and it's quite pleasant. You get that sharp, fizzy at the back of your throat, typical American adjunct lager. Not really tasting the corn. Like I said, we could smell it. And you got a hint of the bitter at the very back end of it. They do say they use Pacific Northwest hops. Not really sure what style. The website doesn't tell you. Crisp, clean, refreshing. This is really everything you'd want in an American lager. It's pretty good. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if the Budweiser or this, which one I would prefer. It's pretty close. I have to say I like the Tecate out of Mexico better than both. And I like the Narragansett, which is a local beer that they're rebrewing. It's contract brewed now, but that's back on. I'll do one of those reviews in a little while. But no, it's quite refreshing. It's quite tasty. I mean, yeah, a six-pack of this, you could sit down and watch a baseball game and have a good time. Really, you could do a lot worse. And again, if you're looking for big, bold beers, you're looking for imperial IPAs and stouts and porters and coffee stouts, and there's not anything like that. I mean, it's just a nice session beer, very drinkable. very enjoyable, very typical lager. And like I said, there's a lot going for lagers. It's the most popular beer in the world. So, gonna give it a solid 60. I'll say a little bit better than that. Give it a solid 64. 64 out of 100. So, it's definitely better than average. Quite drinkable. And let me guys know what you guys think of this beer. Go ahead and leave some comments. Tell me what you think of PBR. And until next time, keep drinking.